Wait a minute. That's not what it's like to work here. That recruiting video's just a hunk of shit.
Good morning, everyone. So, looks like Chad is joining us for the stream this morning. I just kicked this off and brought it up live, but again, we're just going to try and survive some glitches in the verse today and see if we can make some money. So, stick around and hopefully we'll have a little fun. If you're in chat, just kind of, keep chat live, keep it active. It's kind of fun to interact with people back and forth. So, how you doing this morning, Chad?
Doing fantastic. How are you?
Oh, I'm just peachy. Can't complain. Even if I could, nobody'd listen. It's all good.
That's the way it usually works.
Right?
If they'd listen, they're not going to do anything about it anyway.
Very,
If
very...
that was the case, there'd be no more 30 cakes. Got hit with a couple last night. Minor losses, but no big deal.
Absolutely. So, Cosmo, thank you for following. Appreciate it. You were quick on the draw in order to be able to jump into Star Citizen stream this morning. Alright, chat. So, I had gotten on just a little bit earlier in order to be able to try and repair some of that loss that we got last night. And, was able to get it a little bit back. So, let me log back out of this server here and get you brought back in here in the game. Okay?
No problem. I'm standing by menus now.
While that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and fix my chat here so that I can be able to see everybody's stuff, because it wants to fling it everywhere. There we go. Alright, Kakes is online. Let's invite you to party. So I think we'll pick back up this morning. I want to try something a little different, see if we can run to Curd Ore and do a quick gold run and see how well that turns out before we start our regular run there.
Sounds good.
Let me know if
So
it...
where are we running to? I'm loading it now.
It's Curd Ore. So I believe it is sitting in Sealand, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Let me double check my trade list. No, it's out at Daymar.
And who's buying the gold?
Oh, I will.
No, that's not what I mean. Who are you selling it to?
We'll bring her back to Port Olisar.
Oh, just do a little there and back, huh?
Yeah, I want to see how good the trade is and how much they take. Because again, worst case scenario, we can always snag out the freelancers and run a double setup that way.
Yeah, I had to restore a little last night because I tried that with Diamond. Out there at, where is that place? Tram and Myers.
Yep.
Just a short jump. And then had to rebuild a small loss after that. So the profitability is there very nice, but the station will only take so much, even with my 66 unit freelancer. I thought I might be able to get away with a little more than you could, since it's not a 540 something unit Caterpillar.
Right. Let's see
I did one clean load, and then I was trying to do some speed runs and had a minor incident. So the problem with that is the risk there, even though it is a little faster than our normal route for me, the risk there is much greater. So I had some issues. I went back to our normal route.
All right. So is that you following me? Okay, because it's not giving me your name. So
again.
All right. Yep.
See, I've got your name above your head and a distance, like it should.
Well, I wonder why it's doing that. I may, again, chalk it up to another day, another glitch that we're trying to navigate through, right?
Yep. So I did pick up the backpack last night.
I see that.
We did find it at Olisar. Against all advice.
Well, I don't think I've ever been into that particular armor shop here on Olisar, so I flat out missed it.
Well, a lot of what I found online, most people, but there was just a few that said you could grab it there. So,
I think because most people are coming out, and most of their ships are all being dropped on, pads 1 through 6, and they're not going out, 7 or higher, and going to that side. So it's real easy to miss because that green is also really subdued. Alright, so let's get this thing moving. Let's get some money. You want me to take first flight, show you where we're going?
Don't worry about it. Not unless you just want to fly, since you've been sitting pasture most of the time.
No, I'm okay with riding, bitch.
Alright, let's do it.
Turn to your left, bud.
Gotta go the right way first. There are no maps for these ships, so you do have to remember everything. And a Caterpillar is a very large beast. But it is fairly linear, so.
As long as it lets you sit down, there you go.
Yeah, I've had that yesterday where it takes a couple tries. It's like the angles aren't quite right.
Alright, so again, we'll be booking it to Daymar. Now, you'll probably see that the hydrogen fuel's a little low. Don't worry about it. I just refilled all the quantum after the quick run this morning.
Okay, we're going to Kudra, right? Kudre?
Yep.
Doing one of those fun things.
We're going to see how much money we can waste or how much time we can waste, and let's just have some fun with it.
Come on, girl. Pop out, pop in. It's doing one of those things where it's making it difficult to select.
Just run to Daymar.
There we go. No, I popped out. Well,
Just select Daymar, head there, and then we'll find it once we get in orbit.
I can plot these out right.
Good morning, whoever just joined. It looks like you probably joined over on our YouTube channel. Myself and Chad were just going to be running some quick trade missions this morning. We farmed up enough money in order to be able to get the Caterpillar up and rolling yesterday, and after having to start back over at nothing, I think we're sitting at a little combined over about 600K just on yesterday's run. So we're just going to enjoy it and have some fun. We're going to try another little quick trade route this morning. See if we can botch this one or how many glitches we're going to encounter today. So hopefully I'm pronouncing this correct, but FIFO bye. Good morning. And if I didn't pronounce it correctly, just blame it on my accent because I'm texting. So like I said, FIFO, we like to interact with Chad a lot, so feel free if you got any questions or you want to know what's going on or what we're doing, tour of the ship, anything like that. While we can, we'll be happy to oblige.
Setting course for Kudre.
Now, to be honest, like I said, Chad, I have not made this run before, so I have no idea what to expect, if we could have the possibility of running into pirates or whatever else, so.
Well, right now we have an empty ship, so we'll be able to check it out and get a little bit of delay. Of course, we may find out that even with a good clean run that the station doesn't buy much of it or only buys limited quantities, so.
And if
we're here
that's
to find out, right?
if that's the case, then we will probably be making a couple of quick runs with some other commodities and see what we can do about selling it each time we show up. It's a lot of risk, but hopefully that's not the case, that we don't have to play it out that way. So unfortunately we're landing on the dark side here, so you're not going to see a whole lot until we get really, really close to this facility. I'm going to go ahead and sit down so I can go into third person view. I'll let everybody see the outside, what's going on here. So if you guys have never seen it before, this is the Caterpillar here in Star Citizen. This is the equivalent of a really large semi-truck or a tractor-trailer truck. Kind of like to refer to it as a small freight train. It has the largest cargo capacity that is available currently in the game for doing cargo runs. Took me a few weeks of some serious grinding in order to be able to buy this sucker in game, but it's quickly become one of my favorite ships. You know, I'm still learning the combat aspect of the game. So it looks like, are you aimed directly at the facility, Chad?
Pretty much. We're about 8 clicks out.
Alright, it looks like we may have a couple of prospectors running way off to our right. That's what those little flashing specks are, is prospectors out there right now doing a little bit of mining. They're working in pairs right now is what it looks like, so it's probably a pretty good thing. Hopefully it's not some stupid pirate setup that's sitting out there and they decide they want to, you know, come in and jump us.
Ramming speed, baby.
You just point the nose up, fly the sucker up as fast as it goes, find a jump point, and get the heck out of here while I jump in a ball turret and start shooting. That's the plan. It won't go well, but that's the plan. Alright, as you guys can see, there's a little facility right there that Chad's got lit up. And good morning, Draconic. Glad to see you back. So like I said, as you can see, there's a little facility that Chad's going to have to try and see if he can land at. And you're probably going to have to just hug off to the side. Now that doesn't look like a facility, that looks like a mine. Are you sure you're in the right spot there, Chad?
You said Kudra ore mine, right? Let me hover here, level out.
Curd ore. Hold on. Let me see if we navigated a little incorrectly here, and we'll just chalk it up to communication errors. Alright, so you went to the ore mine. Here on Daymar, there is another place called Curd Ore. So from where you're at with the ore mine, you need to go down to the bottom of the planet.
I think my star map's getting a little buggy because when I...
Alright.
open it up to Daymar. The only thing it's even showing me on Daymar, not orbiting Daymar, but actually on Daymar, is where we're at now.
All right. Go ahead and hit your clear.
Oh, I did.
All right. Tell you what. We're hovering here. Hop up, since
Yep.
I can see it.
One of those fun map bugs.
Yep, it is what it is.
I can only go one direction here, homie.
Well, that's not, fun. Alright, so I'm going to get us some altitude again. We're going to correct it, and you'll see where we're at on the map. I want to go to... Whoa, where did we go? Crusader, why is stuff rotating funny? Daymar. I want curd ore, not the mine. Let's set that route. And see what we gotta do to get there.
That is crazy. I have not had this particular bug yet.
Happens. That is not a big issue. Sometimes it won't, it just gives you grief clearing, and that's all there is to it. I mean, set in your own personal one, try and select an entirely new route, like to hurl 5 real quick, and then clear that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Trying to try a couple other things and see if I can.
In the meantime, I'm gonna get this.
Sitting in the seat, so it's trying to show your route.
No worries, I'm just gonna get this big old girl over there as quick as I can. Hopefully without a big crash at the end. I hear you still clicking, trying to get in and out of it.
Well, of course, when you're not seated in the pilot's chair, the map does act a little bit different. So, as far as how it pops things up, because it won't actually set a route, of course, because it can't calculate fuel and so on and so forth. So, just trying to play with it.
Alright, should be able to see it in third person here, which I cannot. So where the heck is my beacon?
Alright, I'm good now.
Let's get back in here. See, so I'm like right over it and it wasn't even showing it to me. Alright. There we go. So
Yeah, it's hard to see what it is for me. There is a point hovering under you on my star map, but of course your beacon is overriding it. One of those in-game things that make it fun.
absolutely. That's the point. Let's get this sucker set down. Alright. You can take the pilot seat. I'm running in. The ship is yours, sir.
Can I paint the SDF-1 on the side?
You can. As long as you also paint a giant phallic symbol along with it.
You make that sound like work.
It is. Alright, let's see. So let's run over here. Oh yeah, this is one of those survival zones. Interesting. I got about...
Out of the seat for a second, I want to check something.
I got 32 minutes that if I was to be outside, it would kill me. I would go into hypothermia.
Yeah, I need to get into a little more of that and figure out some of the armors and such.
I'm hearing some ship movements. You see anything on radar?
I have nothing on radar.
Okay, maybe it's just an audio glitch. Alright, so let's see what we can buy here. So, we can get a little bit of Agricium, which I know, let's see if Port Olisar buys. They do. So
Your ship movement is me.
okay.
The winds here are slowly shifting me. I thought you didn't set her down for a second. I've got it though.
I'm going to buy what little Agricium that they have. 373 in tungsten is the purchase. It's not worth it, so we will go with the gold. Max available stock, which is not enough. So let's see, do the buy quartz. Quartz, $1.25, so we'll make about 30 on that. Barrel is $4.11.
I do have a contact left, but it looks friendly.
Alright, so barrel is what we're going to fill up with. Max available stock. We're just getting all kinds of random stuff here. So this trade in the long run is probably not going to be the best one. So quartz, destination full. Yeah, this particular trade run is not probably going to be very good. This isn't one, like I said, I wanted to try it out and see how it would go. There's not enough gold here to really make it profitable. Or majorly profitable. We'll see how we turn out, though. Since we're getting such a mix of commodities.
Half the fun's finding things out, isn't it?
Of course, that's the way you got to play it. All right, so the ascend is way up in the ground, up in the air. I need you to try and do a hard landing. And just hold it there for a minute.
All right, I'm holding her down. Yeah, I gave up fighting her.
And go up, let go of it. Let her go up a bit. So I can get under here.
Here the hatch.
Yeah.
One of those fun environmental realism aspects, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're going back to Olisar?
Yes, we are. You're good to go. So, this is, like I said, another little testing trade here that's in 3.9, and we'll probably resume our standard trade route once we are done with this. I think we're going to see a little bit more steady earning that way. I'm going to run across and go get in the other canopy.
In case we get any fun excitement. Got to get used to flying this beast again.
Hey, you spent a little bit of time in your Cutlass, didn't you?
Yeah, like I said, I did a couple runs last night. Problem was, one of the runs I was so used to flying this thing that I did a hard correction on the Cutlass and crashed it with a load full of diamond. So that's what I spent the rest of the time earning, trying to get back to where I started. I cannot blame the game for that. This was totally my fault.
A hard correction on the Cutlass.
Well, you know, this one isn't as responsive, so you press and hold the button a little bit, and, you know, stuff like that. And I was down on the pad, and I've gotten a third-person view, and, you know, these things happen. But following our old route didn't take me too long. Was able to stack right back to where I was. I'm a little short, but not much.
That's what she said.
Oh my God. Here we go. Before 10 a.m.
Before 10 a.m. That's how it works. That is exactly how this goes.
I know anybody watching my flying skills, feel free to make fun of them. Just realize that I am going to take it easy with this boat. That's exactly what she is. Fortunately, here at Olisar, the landing pads are fairly large, so it's not that big of an issue. Not like squeezing her into a hangar over at Hurl 4.
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh, we're headed there in a couple stops. Oh, for a minute there, my landing gear was non-responsive. Starting to get worried. And I did find out last night, you know, when I came in on the Cutlass, it put me on one of the pads in front of this one. Well, if you come in too low and basically strafe in, you cannot clear that. Once you come in and strafe in, they start giving you the blocking the pad notification. And even if you fly away from the station, I don't know if that must be a glitch. I flew away from the station, like hard elevate, and got out. And they still took my ship. Now, fortunately, they just threw it in storage, but, you know. Oh, no, it was impounded.
Yeah, you got like a 600 credit fine, right?
Yeah, good times, good times. So,
Looks like we got something else trying to land at the same time.
I don't see them. I'm in third-person view. Are they above us?
Yeah, probably. I'm not getting a better view. I just saw the shadow come across.
Oh, well, this is my pad. So I don't know what they think they're doing.
Alright, tell me when you have touchdown, sir.
Trying to get that position right, get used to where to park on this particular one. I'm down.
Alright.
Have at it. Plotting our usual route?
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Or should I say our most stable route?
Alright.
So for those of you that don't know about this route, what we're planning on doing is we're going to run over to Bountiful Harvest and pick up some processed food. And we're going to take that out to HURL4 at the rest stop there. And from there, we'll sell all of that and then pick up scrap from them and run it back. So it's, if done right, that little round trip takes about 15 or 16 minutes, and you can make about 48K in that time frame. So, you know, 150K an hour if you do it right.
it also helps having two people. So running the Caterpillar, so I'm refueling and getting everything ready. So when Mike runs in, he makes a sale. I'm getting clearance. You know, if we're like at her L4 or her L4, that way you're not wasting those extra couple minutes doing things back and forth. And when you do that over the course of a few hours, it does make a difference on the runs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Draconic. I was getting lost left and right like it was nobody's business, and early on with the Caterpillar, pretty much have most of it down now. I don't mess with like the upper decks or anything along those lines, so I'm still a little bit iffy there, but as far as the main navigation, getting to and from and in and around in the ship, pretty much figured it out after running into a few walls.
What was it you told me on that? If you can find the catwalk, then you can get anywhere.
Pretty much.
After that, it's a straight line. Front of ship, rear of the ship, command models.
Yeah. Alright, so it looks like we made in profit somewhere around 15 or 16K. So that one, again, that one was not worth it because we couldn't get the quantities of the materials that we wanted. Still profit, but not anything close to what we would want to do. Not even on a quick run. That doesn't make sense.
Well, the processed food scrap run isn't sexy, but it's steady, and if you can do a large enough bulk, it makes you some decent cash.
Yep. I have that goal of seeing whether or not we can pop in about $250,000 today. At least. That way we can get our stockpile up high enough that we can start doing a little bit bigger trading. And still have money off to the side, cash reserves wise, in case something goes wrong. Go. If I didn't tell you already, you're good to go. Looks like
I'm
you're
already lining up the flight, man.
good to go. Alright, hey.
Yeah, no, as soon as I see that radio channel, that tells me you're safe.
Yeah. Just kind of waking up here.
Yeah, me too.
My brain power's kind of spent this morning going through the online postings and listings and sending out resumes and yada yada yada.
I'll let that one lie.
You'll let that one lie. Dude, it's all fair game.
About your brain power.
Well, I know there's not much of it anyway, which is the reason why it was taxing to get it done. But I'm alright with that. I am more than happy to make fun of myself. Because if you can't have a good sense of humor, you got issues.
My daughter has become a dad joke fanatic.
Okay.
Like anything corny dad jokes, she loves. Which works for me because all mine are corny.
Yeah, especially since your daughter's so young. I mean, you can't really bust out with any of the really good jokes. Yeah, Draconic, I agree. Getting up, being able to wake up, play some games. And to be honest, you know, like I said, this I'm in between jobs right now with what's going on with COVID, and although I am looking, and I have a rather large recruiting network out looking for me and trying to help me out, I figured during that time frame, I could see what I could do about, streaming full time, and trying to help the channel grow a bit. So it's really what's been going on. Is it took me a little bit of time to try and get most of this stuff kind of tweaked and set up right, because other than our tabletop role-playing games, which is just pretty much turn it on and have an overlay sitting there with the cameras and everybody just going and interacting. This one takes a little bit more because it's kind of like that heavy focus on Twitch. Just trying to set up all the little things like the pop-ups for followers and the following goal tracker that you see right there, and then trying to get the tiles all set up down below and come up with a schedule that works. It's just it's a learning curve for me right now, but I think the game's fun. I think the game's entertaining, and I think because you can do so much, and the fact that unlike a lot of MMOs, this is a different style. And Chad and I were having this conversation last night. This is a different style of MMO interaction where you're playing with teamwork. And in my opinion, it's significantly more fun. Even though the purpose of the game right now seems to be nothing but grind, and earn money, there's still so much that you can do and so much control that you have in the game that it makes it far more entertaining.
So much easier to come in during the daylight hours on this one.
Considering there's that big clear patch just to the left-hand side of the facility.
That's right. Well, being able to see the facility's orientation helps you identify that. A lot of times you can't see it until you're up close. The shift lights only work toward the front, which when you're in third-person view helps some, but and we are down.
Not quite. Your ass end is way up in the air.
My ass end is way in the air. Look at that. We are down.
Alright. Now I can give you kudos.
It's don't start with that crap.
I will start with whatever crap makes as much entertainment as possible.
Well, we're not going to be holding hands and taking warm showers together, I promise you that.
That's good. Because I wasn't planning on doing any of that with you either. Oh, maybe it would help if I would click buy instead of sell. Alrighty then. Processed food. Let's fill her up and then we will get going. So this particular trade, now if you look, that processed food only cost me 67k. Alright? So we're not, the first rule here is when you're first trying to build up some money, don't waste everything you got and put it all on the line. Sometimes it's worth being a little bit more patient and just holding on to the trades and going with some smaller trades and taking more of them until you can get everything built up. Good to go.
Alright, setting route now. Had a, speaking of the child, school question.
2 plus 2 is 19. Now you're old enough to take care of yourself. Get out.
See? It's easy.
Uh-huh. I know you won't find that in any Dr. Spock books, but it's okay.
We got lucky she's got a really good teacher, so even with the homeschooling thing, it hadn't been too bad.
Yeah, I saw a meme the other day, and I had to just kind of laugh, but it basically said to my child's teacher,
I'm sorry.
You're a liar. My child is not a pleasure to work with.
I saw that one. I like the other one that says, you need more funding, a raise, whatever you need. You need school supplies, you just give me that list. I can bring you 5 times. I will no longer ever complain.
Oh, there's a lot of people that are getting an eye-opening to what it is to be a teacher these days. And there's
I think people spend so much time letting school babysit and make decisions for them, they're having to actually do it for themselves now.
well, I think the problem with that is that there's different levels here, and I'll just say it. There's probably a whole group of people that are basically just still plopping the kid down in front of the TV and saying, "All right, well, if you're behind, you're behind." You know, because they don't want to deal with it. But again, I respect. My mother was a teacher, so I respect a lot of what teachers have to go through, and I've heard some of the horror stories that exist in those classrooms.
I think one of my favorite ones is an old cartoon I used to see, and it would show the parent standing behind the teacher asking a kid, what's the story with these grades? And then it shows nowadays the parent standing behind the kid yelling at the teacher, what's the story with these grades,
Yep, seen that one. It speaks a lot to what's going on in society right now, where it's kind of that giant shift of power from adults to kids, when we're supposed to be guiding them. But anyway, it is what it is. We won't go down that political rant.
I was about to say, philosophy class over.
Uh-huh. Still good though. I mean, it's one way or another, parents are having to get a little bit more involved with kids these days. So it's I think one of the positive effects of COVID right now is that you're going to see a lot more parents and kids, and families come a little bit closer together.
One of the positive effects of COVID, and that's turning a frown upside down.
Yes, it is. Although we won't talk about all the assholes going stir crazy that are locked in their houses.
Well, I actually like my family, so.
I know, right? You're kind of weird.
Very, very odd. I should have committed suicide when I logged in. Because the first day or so I played, which this was only like day 3. The first day or so I played, every time I logged in, I got new hydration and food stats, like they were maxed out. Like I went to bed and woke up, and I guess with the new patch and everything, that is not how that's working anymore.
Right.
So, I have to go eat me a hot dog or something.
Well, what we can do is we can land at Port Olisar, and after you get done refueling and I run back out to the ship and get in the ship, you jump out, go ahead and commit suicide, and no matter where it puts you in Port Olisar,
That'll work.
I'll pick you back up. Now this time I won't fly the Caterpillar into you, but
You have no idea how big this shit gets very quickly when it's approaching you. Aiming for the cargo bay, and this thing comes out of nowhere and just dead.
so
And there's a grease stain inside of cargo bay 1.
I decided to use you as a pool cue, or the ship as a pool cue, and stuff happens.
Stuff happens.
Well, just like you took a wrong turn with your cutlass, stuff happens.
Oh, that was so awful. That was so awful. I'm trying to hit the yaw button instead of hitting the strafe and wondering why the yaw isn't doing anything, and all of a sudden, whoosh, you know, that thing accelerates quickly. And I had set a timer, was trying to do a speed run, so, you know, forget the old slow is smooth, smooth is fast, you know. Trying to get in there, land quickly, get out, get it sold.
Right. I am going to respond to a message real quick from one of my contacts real fast, so please bear with me.
Down. Oh, that lady. Third person view. I think the worst part about the third person viewing this is the camera angles.
Hopefully that is enough for her. Alright. So guys, I apologize. I had to respond to a request from one of my recruiting network folks that's out there that
We're down.
is helping me locate some full-time employment. But now we are right back to it. And I do see that we did have a couple of people join in with us. So let's see where we're at. So it looks like we had somebody hop in over at Twitch and somebody else that hopped in over at YouTube, so good morning, both of y'all. I do have a consolidated chat log sitting over here, so feel free to type in. We love to interact with our audience. Let me know if there's things that you want to see, like a tour of the Caterpillar and the ships and what we're doing. Again, for those that may not have been here and you're brand new, I appreciate y'all stopping by. We are just trying to rebuild our funds after the database wipe that happened a few days ago. Fortunately, I lost about 2.7 million in that wipe, which has proven to be a little bit challenging here for us to be able to start back over again. But we're on day 2 and maybe about 7 hours into gameplay on day 2, or not day 2, but 7 hours into total gameplay since the wipe, and I think combined we're sitting on what, a little over 700,000?
Right around there.
And none of the trades that we're doing are super huge or glorious right now, but they are steady earners, and this is the way you kind of farm in this game. You fueling back up there, Chad?
Yep. She's already full.
Good to know. Processed food. Let's get rid of all of that, because Lord knows they need to eat. So, like, what kind of funds are you sitting on right now?
I'm sitting on 108. I'm sitting on 108.
108. Alright. So I'm sitting on 500, pretty much straight up. So we are at 608 after completing the first leg of our first trade this morning. So let's purchase all the scrap that we possibly can. And as you guys saw right there very quickly, again, we're risking about another 70k. So we could lose this run for whatever reason and still not be in a position where it's so negative that it hurts us.
And one of the things that happened on the 30K yesterday is I lost a load mid-flight, but when it reset, instead of just losing the load, the ship was back at this last station I had taken off from with the load on it. So hopefully we won't be getting 30Ks, but if we do, we're going to keep an eye on that and see if we're at least, when it resets, are they resetting back to a known safe point.
Well, and I kind of got to go with I don't think they are, because if you remember the very last thing that happened with the Caterpillar the other day is that when we did 30K, we lost the cargo that was in there.
Right. But wasn't that the other day?
Yeah, it was yesterday. It was right at the end of our trading set.
Did we have a cargo last night when we shut it down?
Yes, we did.
We were in station, weren't we?
We were not in station. We were in cargo. We had cargo that we had just loaded up. And
that's right. We had just loaded.
You're good to go. And it 30k'd out on us the moment that I finished getting a confirmation, and we lost out.
That is correct. I forgot about last week. Hey, someone did not request takeoff.
Really? Is that someone's name Khakis?
Khakis did not request takeoff. I was just testing the durability of the doors.
Oh, okay. All right. So they're pretty strong, apparently.
Apparently. That is the first time I've done that. Of course we do it on stream.
Oh, come on. We both know you drive this ship like you drive your truck. Right into stuff.
I've never hit anything with my truck. Things hit me.
While you're moving. Got it. Check. Oh, man.
Hey, hey, look at it this way. At least it's not like when I was making an FTL delivery my very first night. Got on about the third one, trying to land on top of a skyscraper, had everything lined up, came down fast and broke an engine off on a building. I do like the aspect of when you do things that take ship damage, like you actually break components off, instead of just getting a damage meter or something like that. Alright, while we're flying here, I'm going to step away a second.
Oh, and Draconic, sorry. Again, my recruiters, one of them keeps going back and forth with me this morning, so I am working through a couple of things there. But is there fall damage in this game? Absolutely, there is fall damage. I can show you some very basic minor damage if we end up doing like committing suicide at Port-Olisar to reset our hydration and food stats. Because there's a window you can jump through in order to be able to land right next to the ship terminals, and you'll see that the screen will flash really quickly red just for a split second, and that means that you took a little bit of damage there. I did do an EVA one time, and when I did the EVA, I didn't realize that coming over one of the landing pads I would be too close to it, and I fell, and when gravity kicked back in, and I ended up breaking a leg. So all it would let me do is crawl. So yes, there is damage that's there. I've had some situations where I've been out mining, and I've had a rock explode, and the shrapnel kind of hits you in the head, and I've had I want to call it a traumatic brain injury when it happened. And things get foggy, and starts going dark, and it's really kind of weird. And if you don't take care of it with one of the med pins really quickly, you do end up bleeding out and dying. So that is there. And yeah, as the pilot steps away, we'll see what happens here. Hopefully he didn't leave it on cruise control, and we're just going to keep flying directly into Crusader here. Which it sounds like he left it on cruise control. Huh. Let's find out. So, Chad, hopefully you didn't leave this bad boy on cruise control.
I did not. I don't go into cruise control anymore, just for that very reason.
Okay.
Since when you jump to something, you're very conveniently aimed at it.
Okay, let's see now. So what are your hydrations and food levels at?
I'm at 51 hydration, 78 food, so I mean, we don't have to do it right now. Or does it start accelerating the lower you get?
It doesn't. We could probably get through another 1 or 2 runs before you need to do that.
I mean, I was at 60 when we started, so we're going to be fine.
Oh, look, I have a broken foot dangling off the side. There it is.
Do we?
No, I don't. The way I was standing, the image in my third-person view looked like my foot was just shaking and hovering there.
Oh, I thought you were referring to the, since I can't see your view, I thought you were referring to the ship.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get you a little bit more warmed up today and we'll be able to get these approaches quicker. I know getting used to this sucker is a pain when you get used to a smaller ship.
Everyone's always a critic.
Yes, we all are. Because we all know how to do this, right? Just tell me when we touch down.
Well, and the biggest thing on this is it's not so much the approach itself, it's getting used to the view, the perspective of everything to make sure your relative positions. We are down. Okay. We're actually further in the pad. Good.
Well, see, all you have to do is just fly in until your nose hits something and then back up a little bit. Just messing with you.
It's a technique. It's a technique, and it does work because you don't take that much damage, but I prefer not to. Make me self-destruct right here on the pad.
That would be bad, but I think before the 30 seconds it takes for that sucker to self-destruct, I might be able to sell the cargo.
Why bother refueling, right?
Exactly.
I am all out of the routine this morning.
Oh, it's all good, man.
No, I had it down pretty good yesterday with land, do this, switch this, do that, you know, and I have to think about where we're going now. It's hell getting old.
It is, right? Alright, so let's see. We should be about 530. No, we're at 528. So that is not bad. And we'll get back to it again. So yeah, guys, this is the most basic trade route that you can find in the game that's profitable. I don't care what ship you do this with. Obviously, with the Cat, you're going to have a lot more cargo that you can haul, and your profit margins become larger and larger. up until they cap off, but as long as you're sitting anywhere close to 100K worth of capital or cash assets, you can pretty much run a full load each direction and make about 48K a round with this particular ship. A freelancer max, you'll probably make around, I want to say 12 or 13K in total. And a standard freelancer, you'll probably make around 6 to 8K per run. But again, it's still very, very quick. It's very fast. You're not really risking a whole ton because it's not a route that a lot of pirates are going to sit on.
I think I clocked it last night around 5.5K running a standard freelancer. But the flip side of that is too, you're only spending about 6 to 7K at any one time on cargo.
So it's very low risk. You want a tour of the Caterpillar? Alright, sure. Absolutely, while he's bringing this in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go down to the front access, and I'll take you through. So the Caterpillar is very modular, so each one of the cargo compartments going forward will look almost identical. Okay? Until you get up to the very front where you have turret access. So I can climb in the front turret up here, or from up here, and I'll go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and open the front. So like right here, I'm now open to space, but there's ways to be able to get like dragonfly bikes and other things like that that you can put in the front here, and then very easily get them on and off the ship. Okay. I can get up here into the front ball turret. And then I'll have access to the turret. Again, for sake here, I'm not going to go ahead and turn things on, but this turret, just obviously it is what it is. Let me hop back out of here. Now, this is a crewed ship, right? So you can fly it solo, and it's one of the easiest to handle flying solo because you have so many terminals up in the pilot seat. But like EVA access, right? So from here, I should be able to... Why are you not letting me... I should be able to get up here, and for whatever reason right now, it's not letting me access it. But this port, or this hatch, I should be able to climb and be able to do an EVA. Okay? Now I'm going to come back. There's an upper hallway, so I can get into the computer room, and I should be able to log into different things here in the computer room. Obviously there's just different types of housing and locations and things that I can get into, where I can use the ladders to get to and from and do whatever I want. Obviously you can see the engine room, which you've seen before already. I've got a rear turret, and that's a lower turret that I can get in and out of. And then obviously I can continue back through my lower hallway, and here's my elevator access. Chad, by the way, how far out are we?
We're almost there, but take your time.
Alright. So I've got a couple of bunks here that I can log in and out of in my galley. Obviously there's a bathroom. And then again, just like the front of the ship, I've got these modular storage compartments that I can run through, and they have catwalks up on the sides. you know, I can get all the way back here to the back where I can, you know, open up and retract the, you know, the bow. So, bunch of different stuff. And good morning, Spud. Glad to see you back again. So, just giving Draconic a quick tour of the Caterpillar here. Alright. There's one more section that I'll show you on the Caterpillar when we get back. I just want to make sure that I'm ready to go running for cargo here in just a second. Disconnected in my cat just before touchdown. Thought the cargo was gone. Spawned back in. Stored at the station. So we had that happen, Spud, yesterday. We got a 30K just as Chad was landing at Port Olisar. And in my screen, the ship was drifting. And, you know, I was like, okay, why are you drifting? He's like, no, we're here. We're landed. And then all of a sudden he 30K'd, and then I 30K'd right on top of it. And I went back in, and I went to take a look, and before I filed a claim on the ship, I went over to the trade consoles, and it had all the commodities still in there. So I think if you're within a certain distance, it's registering the landing.
Yeah, I was hovering over the pad. I can't tell you my elevation I was coming in, but I was over the pad. Kind of like when you get those blue squares that come above the smaller pads. I would have been in that zone, and I wasn't very far above it. But, yeah, we totally lost it there. So I hadn't actually touched the pad yet.
So, let me go ahead and get this material here. Come on, show me the Caterpillar. There it is, processed. Alright, so, Spud, we are doing a very, very basic trade route for a low risk. It's low reward, but it's low risk as we're trying to build those funds back up. So pretty much after doing one run this morning and having the run, of course, you're not going to let me go this side. And then what we did yesterday, we're about 7, maybe 7.5 hours in, and from starting from scratch with funds, and we're already up to a combined little over 600K. So what I found is that, and we tried a couple of different things yesterday, but what I found is that, and Chad, you're good to go.
Yeah, I'm already fine.
We could go to Bountiful Harvest and pick up, instead of getting the distilled spirits, because we kept running into sales caps on them, we found that we could take processed food in a full load from here to HURL4. And they'll buy it in total, and you'll make about 20K profit. So you're risking about 76,000, but you're making 20K profit on that leg. But in HURL4, you're able to buy scrap for about 1.36 and take it back to Olisar. And in that trade, you're making another 28K profit. So by the time you pay for your fuel and everything's said and done, you're profiting about 47 to 47.5K in a 15-minute run. So, you know, even if you mess up or you get slow at some point in time, you're still looking at, you know, you're able to push in close to 150K an hour with this run, and you're never risking more than 75K. Or, sorry, 76K at a time. So it's a good way to start out and get your funds going. Alright, so back to Draconic. The very last thing that I wanted to show you here, obviously across the way there you had seen that, you know, there's a tractor beam control here. It's a little pod that you can get in and you can take a look at and see what's going on. But back here in the command access, there's a ladder back here. Okay? And when you go down the ladder, this command module also has a little bitty miniature kitchen. It has a couple of bunks that you can get into. And then it has like a tractor beam control set up here on this side that I think will be enabled in the future. Okay? So this little ship, and I call it a little ship, but this little thing, you know, here's a bathroom and a shower, obviously. But this little command module, if you look, when I go to open this door, there's a second bulkhead here. So what I think is going to happen is in the future, there's also thrusters on the back of this. This will be a separatable craft. So kind of like a lifeboat or, you know, something along those lines. Let me hop down and we can kind of zoom in that so I can give you a third-person view of the ship. So like right here, you know, you can see that that command module that sits on the side, it looks like it's nothing more than a little lifeboat because you can see those multiple thrusters sitting on the back of it. So as they increase the modularity here, you know, and there's some landing gear right there at the front section, as they increase the access to the modularity of these ships in the future, I'm really hoping that that's one of the functions that they add to it, because they haven't figured out or they haven't worked on the docking yet. So like on the Constellation, the Andromeda, it has a fighter that's attached to it that comes as part of the ship purchase. Unfortunately, it won't let you attach or detach it. At least not in my experience. Now, I don't own the ship, but I'm going by you know, what I understand to be from a couple of people who do own the ship that I talked to. So like I said, today the goal is kind of to earn at least $250,000. And I know it's very doable even with these runs like this. We're just going to be repeating it a little bit here. But once we get our cash reserves, and the way that we're doing this is about every 300K, I'm going to transfer 100K over to Chad so that he can hold on to a reserve bank for us. He's never going to be doing any kind of major risky trades that's going to use up all those funds. So even if something happens and he loses out a little bit on his freelancer here or there, that's not a big issue. But I figure that if I can transfer him 100K every, 300K's worth of runs, that if we ever have an issue where for whatever reason we have a big trade on the line and it 30K's or errors out, then we at least have his money to give us more than enough starting capital to be able to jump right back into full load Caterpillar trades. So we're trying to be a little bit more cautious and make sure that the money stays separated that way so that we can work up and acquire some more ships for the fleet. You getting this landing pad?
Yep. Just
All right.
hauled it in.
How's your hydration and food looking?
42 and 71.
Alright, so once we get back to Port Olisar, let me run in, make the trade real quick, and then come back out to the ship, and then you go ahead and step out of the ship and pop a suicide. Because what I don't want to have happen is I don't want to have you get out of the ship here and we go through what we experienced yesterday.
Yep. Oh, I'm totally down with that. That's nice and easy.
Because at least if one of us is in the ship, we can always back it up and fly it out and do what we got to do.
Let's see if this works a little better this round.
So yeah, you guys that are on the stream, you know, you'll kind of pick up on my sense of humor as we go along, and it can be kind of dark at times, but the reality is I'm just a big goofball. So, you know, I've been telling Chad, you know, he's had years of practice of trying to put the long shaft into the small hole, so he should be much more fluid with this at this point.
Well, and I'm trying out a couple different perspectives.
Like
adjusting my camera while we're in quantum.
Like the one that
default put me high.
yeah, because you were ramming that turret into that wall right there.
Well, it wasn't just that. As I was landing, my attitude adjustment had my front down a lot further, even though it looked straight to me in relation to the rest of the planes. So every time we landed, I nosed down fairly significantly high, quicker than my rear.
Okay.
So, like I said, a little camera angle adjustment, and it's already making life a little bit easier. And we are down, and actually landed almost at the same time, front and rear. So, I like that perspective.
All right, good to go.
All right, I'll get us fueled and ready, and you go make us some money.
And then you listen to your Super Mario Brothers ringtone.
No, not my ringtone.
Come on, elevator. Be good to me. There we go. Alright, so let's go to lobby. While we're doing that, I am going to go ahead and armor, unequip, save, so I can top off my food and health really quickly while we're here. Draconic, I love that reference, and I am very happy that you actually know what that reference is. Yes, we are definitely picking up Tony Cupcakes. That warms my heart. Speaking of, we are running Star Wars tomorrow night, so you will be able to see, hopefully the players will chase Tony Cupcakes down a little bit more. So that is sold. Let's fill back up on scrap. Come on. Oh, excuse me. For whatever reason, something is going on in my studio tonight, or today. It's just like, it's not really dusty or anything. It's just, yeah, kind of getting my nose going. So, buy scrap. Why did it not? There it goes. Okay. Alright.
Finally allergic to your own bullshit?
I am. That's a good thing. That means that I'm growing as a human.
That's overrated.
It is? Damn. I'm gonna grab a breakfast dog. Confirm purchase. Look down and eat it. Okay.
Grab and run.
Now I need to get a soda. I don't... Description. Which one is this? Hypermetabolic dehydrating. Okay.
I kind of feel like the lower the hydration, I'll have to time it next time, especially since I'm just sitting on my ass in a ship. I kind of feel like that the lower it gets, the faster it goes. I'm not in danger or anything, but it seems like it's definitely trickling a little faster.
Yep, I'll be back on my way here momentarily. I'm just topping off. Alright, now I get to be a litter bug. Drop it. And run away. It's a good thing they haven't introduced fines for littering yet. Now, I am waiting to see when they actually allow me to get a torpedo burrito, which is part of the signage that's here. Let's see. Hangar 2 is usually where they put us.
Yeah, it should be Hangar 2. We landed in the same spot we always do.
During that, let me get my armor. Go ahead and put my helmet back on. That way I don't choke to death when we're out in space. Or when we land at Port Olisar. Alright, looks like you already got the hangar open.
Oh, yeah. I saw you moving. I forgot you had to eat, so I went ahead and called in.
You're good to go, sir.
Speed reverse. That is definitely a cool cinematic reversing out of that thing quickly.
Right. Oh, there we go.
We are launch.
So now we got a couple minutes of quantum before we can complete this particular loop. And again, by the time this is said and done, usually it's about 103, 104 when we sell this scrap run. So that'll put us at about 575-ish on my side. So I do see that it looks like we did have somebody else join over on Twitch, so hopefully with the delays that it takes to get the video over there, I just want to tell you welcome. You know, we're a newer channel that does tabletop role-playing games, and you know, reaching out and trying to broaden our horizons to be able to do a little bit of Twitch streaming and such. So, you know, feel free to jump in chat and join us in the conversation. It's we like to interact back and forth with everybody.
Yeah, I think it definitely, the lower you get, it trickles a little faster. Unless they've made some tweaks between yesterday and today, which it's RSI. You never know what's going to happen.
Okay. Well, the thing is that from the patch notes said that you would start suffering side effects, and I've never let mine get low enough to truly suffer those side effects. But I do know that if you let it go all the way down, you can die.
Well, I'm at 37%. I have an orange line under it. I don't know if that's just trying to indicate to me, or hopefully it's no side effects like pilot issues. Because this is the lowest I've ever been.
It's possible. Like I said, we just need a matter of another couple minutes to get this landed, unloaded, and then I get back on the ship and you can reset yourself.
Oh yeah, I got lots of time. I could probably even make an extra run if necessary. I'm not worried about that. I'm just, we'll see how, as I fly in, if anything weird starts happening. If it does, I'll call a halt and let you jump in the seat. Guess I should have read the patch notes.
Well, I mean, if there were any really cool effects, then I'd, want to put together a video on, like a time-lapse video of what happens at different hydration levels. And I really, really wish, and I know we're farming, but man, I really miss my damn armor.
Which set was it?
Well, it was the orange set, but the fact is that this gray flight suit nonsense is just, it's so basic.
Yeah, I picked up the set last night when I picked up the backpack. I didn't really go through a whole bunch, just...
Well, I gotta find out which ones and which undersuits are for, like, cold weather. That way I don't have to deal with the cold weather again.
Well, if you go into Garrity Defense, I only looked at it a little bit last night, but if you go into Garrity Defense in here, in Olisar, it mentioned desert and other stuff, and it actually had temperature ratings. Now, I don't know if it's the extreme cold weather, but there was temperature ratings involved.
Okay.
As you highlighted the armor. So, I had already picked up the one with the MacFlex backpack or whatever.
Got a couple bumblebees hovering outside my window. What's really interesting is the lizards are chasing them. Getting close there. Let me go ahead and run on down. Third person view's kind of going in and out for me.
Down.
Alrighty. I'm on my way in. look down on your control panel and do a close all hatches, please. I ran off without closing that ground hatch.
I believe that's just hotkey K. Which is open, close all hatches.
That way nobody sneaks on there.
Key 9. Yep. It's open, close all doors.
And watch out for any blue information nodes that pop across saying somebody joined the channel.
Well, since I'm not going to fly us out of here just yet, I hit the button, but I'm going to run down and verify it myself just to...
That's fine. Go ahead and run down there because you're going to be exiting the ship here momentarily anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so yeah, we are at 575 on this particular run. So we are eking closer to our target. Considering we started all this at what, 460? 465?
Yep. Gotta love this ship.
I do, thank you.
Well, I can't remember where that damn middle drop hatch is. I'm trying to find it.
Alright, go back to the engineering where you see the engines.
Alright, center hallway.
Come on, deploy.
I'm at the command module.
Alright. So you should be looking for the stairway, which is almost across from the command module, but before you go...
To the right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the flight. That's right. I ran to the forward part of the ship.
And then go through that one and just follow it down and you'll see the...
Yep, to the
Lab.
elevator. Don't spend as much time running around this thing.
So wait until you're on the pad to commit suicide.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it'll let me do it since I'm not in a pilot's chair, but let's not risk it, right? I'm gonna run way over here. Oh. Another one down.
Alright, let me know where you respawn, because, you know, apparently, you know, it doesn't want to...
side of the station.
It doesn't want to show me.
I am 560 meters away from you.
I don't know which way that is.
I know, once I get a viewpoint here. I am on C deck.
Are you like at an angle opposite of me, or are you just to the side of me?
Well, it looks like an angle, but from inside it's hard to tell. I'm going to run outside and then that's what I'll tell you, I'll get a point of view. Since for some reason we're still bugging it, you cannot see me while we're in party together. Or see my beacon.
Yeah, I kind of wish they had all this stuff labeled.
Alright, if you're facing a station, I am directly to your left. On pad 10.
Well, I got somebody that's like EVAing right now.
Really?
Yep. Alright, so I'm going to come down and put my nose almost right where pad 10 is.
Can you see me running around on pad 10?
I'm not close enough yet.
Well, you're coming to the right place, so. You're right in front of me. Oh, you're past me. That's good. Just open the doors.
I am.
About to close the doors.
Hurry in as quick as you can, because I want to be able to get this stuff closed.
Hurry in. I'm hurrying.
Heavy Bob joined the channel, so we've got somebody on the ship.
Yeah. I'm inside. I mean, that's about as fast as I can get.
Alright.
Close them doors. I'm in.
Well, that's not the issue. We have somebody who jumped on board.
Well, I've got a shotgun. Let me equip it. Can I pull weapons on ship in the zone?
Not while we're in zone.
I am equipped. Okay.
I wonder if it's going to try and store it on us.
Did you get a parking violation?
No, not that I see yet. But
Well, I mean, that's not what I mean. I mean, did it give you the warning about your violating zone or whatever?
no, it didn't.
It stored us. I'm in the station.
Yep. I'm okay with that because that way good old
Bob
boy.
down. Well, that's one way to get rid of Bob.
Yeah, it sure is. Now I probably got a parking fine in that whole routine, but that's okay.
Well, I didn't get one last time it did that to me. There was a little bug in the station. Remember I said I swooped too low over another pad but didn't touch it?
I did.
Jump up.
It's all good. But that's okay, because I didn't want to leave the Armistice Zone with Bob there anyway.
Jump up and down.
Alright, Caterpillar's out on 0-0.
Hey.
Yeah.
Stop 1 second. Jump up and down. Okay. I don't have the indicator anymore. I want to make sure I'm following the right guy.
Yeah, see, now we're both suffering from that one. So I would pay attention here as we get out on the pad to make sure somebody is not EVAing or trying to get onto us. So basically what we need to do is immediately after liftoff, we probably need to just burn ourselves out of the Armistice Zone so that if he's EVAing again, he can't get on board.
That way if he manages, I can see what this energy shotgun will do at close range. I've not had the pleasure of personal combat yet. I don't see anybody.
It doesn't look like you even have your energy shotgun equipped.
It probably unequipped it when it kicked us back in. Because I had just made sure it was equipped.
Oh, come on. I'm going to get us up and moving real fast.
It's equipped now.
Let me see. Daymar is where we are headed. Alrighty. Let me get us lined up and I'll hop up out of the seat.
problem, no problem.
I just wanted to get a quick boost in there and get us out of Port Olisar way. We had some people that were going. Let's see. Curd. Shubin. The aid station. Arc Corp. Bountiful Harvest.
You know, when I'm plotting these courses, if you roll the planet around, there comes a point that even from like Olisar, if you're jumping to Daymar, you can plot that Bountiful Harvest. That way it's already coming up on the map as soon as you spool back up. Instead of having to hunt them all down.
I've done that in the past, and usually I found that in most cases, just the hunting it down is a little bit quicker because you can get your first jump done almost immediately, as opposed to sitting there trying to set stuff. But if you're on a pad and you're sitting, then it's okay to easily plot that stuff. Alright. Cruise control's on. So, hop up in there.
Oh, you need there I will certainly be happier when you can track these things without spooling up every time. Of course, if you get low enough into the atmosphere, you can, but now you're skimming the planet.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere on this planet isn't very high. It's only a few thousand clicks, so. About 2,000 clicks.
Well, like I said, not a big issue. I mean,
Well,
it's
it's not the spooling that I mind. It's that it throws up the spooling HUD until you get in atmosphere.
yeah.
When it kicks back to your regular HUD, it's no big deal because you can actually see your throttle.
That's fair. I mean, now, typically I will set that throttle cap, and I'll set it to where it's pretty straightforward so that I don't have much of an issue there. That way, even if I'm at full throttle or have my cruise control on, it's not putting me at a speed that I can't recover from pretty quickly.
Right, but to save time on these, I like to throttle it up till I get close, but I roll my throttle cap down as kind of a throttle control, and then for maneuvering, that was some of the issues I had when first flying. Rolling it up and then throttling up. Well, then as you got close, and if you held a little long, it throttled a little hard. So I like to get here once I get within a couple thousand clicks, then I roll the throttle back. Are you shooting
Yep.
at somebody?
Yep. I just got a crime stat for it, too.
Heavy Bob has left the channel. How was he on the ship?
I don't know. He EVA'd somehow and got to it before we got there.
Goodbye, Bob. What's that, Young Guns? Hello, Bob. Goodbye, Bob.
So I've got a crime stat of 2.
Oh, good job.
Which means eventually I'm going to end up in jail. It's all good. Well, he successfully snuck on the ship. I give him that.
How did it not kick him? I mean, I don't know how you sneak on the ship. We were standing on the only access.
Well,
Unless he can't ride the ship through quantum, can he?
yes, he can. Which means he probably got in through that upper access, which is good because the reality is he didn't come to the cockpit and steal the ship.
We're down.
So yeah, hopefully here we'll be able to get into Port Olisar with my crime stat.
Well, I'm the one requesting access, so we'll see.
But I'm on board, so we'll see what happens. It may be one of those where we can't poke around trying to get a perfect landing. Just get in there and land.
I can do that.
We'll see what happens. It's been a while since I've had a crime stat. Okay, so
Gotta hack a terminal.
Draconic, you asked me what's your favorite type of exercise? Oh, hiking. Okay. Well, long story short, I am a disabled vet and I have leg issues, so exercise doesn't happen much anymore.
Oh, I thought your issue was a craniorectal blockage.
It's anal leakage. Get it right.
Well, I thought your solution was anal blockage. Head up your ass.
Well, no, because, I mean, there's always a cure for that, which is, if you grab both ears and yank real hard, that popping noise fixes that real good. Because that's the distinct popping noise of your head being removed from your ass.
Oh, Heavy Bob's in global chat. Someone's crying that he just stole a ship. That's what he's doing. He's stealing ships.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to respond here momentarily and let him know I guess the crime stat was worth it.
Oh, now he's posting his Discord.
We're up and good.
Yeah, I'm already in the air.
Okay, so let me go ahead and tell Captain Bob.
And we're on the opposite side of the planet, so this is taking a minute to get some altitude. We've been lucky on our previous runs. I've jumped up just a couple thousand clicks and fired off. So you shoot a guy that's on your own ship and you get a crime stat.
Because he didn't engage me. Yeah. Alright, so I'm not going to jump back and forth with him in that, but that's fine. We'll get to a point where, as long as I don't have too many issues getting in and out of Port Olisar for the time being, we won't worry about it. But at the tail end of everything, I'll probably just sit outside of Port Olisar in a ship and see if I can get a bounty hunter to take my bounty and drop me. Oh, Draconic, don't worry about it, man. That has nothing to do with anything, man. I have no shame whatsoever. I would not change anything for what I've been through. So, you know, Chad's an old vet as well, and you know, he and I have had those conversations in the past, and you know, we all sign up for what we need to sign up for, and we all know what the potential consequences are, and you know, again, I wouldn't change what happened for the world. You know, kind of. It was a turning point in my life that got me to understand that I could use my head a little bit more than I could use my body physically, and it kind of guided me in a completely different path. So it was a blessing in disguise. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't miss getting out there and being able to run 4 to 6 miles at a time, but, you know.
I'll run 4 to 6 feet to the fridge.
No. You're doing that wrong. The fridge has to be located strategically right next to you so you can acquire a beer at a moment's notice.
I don't worry about that. I have a child. She knows how to fetch.
See, the problem is my children are older, so if I tell them to fetch me a beer, there's a good chance it's empty by the time it gets to me.
You had many good years, so.
So here I am, dating myself on stream. Yeah. I'm old as fuck. So, I wonder how this is going to play out, because I have never been to an R&R while having a crime stat.
Well, first, let's see if they grant me landing.
Well, you'll notice if they start shooting at us.
Always comforting.
That's a universal greeting, a laser blast.
If I didn't have a cargo full of freaking processed food here, if they started shooting at me, I'd just have to full throttle and ram the station. I've already spent a little time in prison. It don't scare me.
Well, just don't shoot back or do anything like that, because what'll happen is while you're flying, I'll immediately try and get to where I can EVA, and then that way I'm not part of the ship. And kind of go from there. See if I could hit the terminal here and maybe pay off my...
Woo.
What?
I overshot because I was throttled way up. I realized I wasn't decelerating as fast as I should be. This is actually going to work out because I didn't actually overshoot. So, we're not getting shot at and we're pretty close. We got to talking, I had my scroll wheel up too high. So my throttle limiter wasn't limiting.
Yeah. It's all good, as long as you didn't plow the ship into things.
Oh no, when I realized it, I immediately changed course. And since you're not sitting in a seat, you didn't hear the overheating warning from the space brake.
You know what's really funny, and I will say this: that's honestly the first player I've had to assassinate on a ship, because I've usually been very, very careful about not letting people on.
You know, that's part of the game. You know, if you want to steal ships, you can steal ships. I mean, I don't hold it against old Bob for trying.
Oh, I don't either. I'm really glad he didn't get in there and start shooting people up. But, you know, I'm okay with the fact that, yeah, I'll shoot him in the ass, I'll shoot him in the back, and let him die and take a crime stat for it. Last thing I want to do is, you know, get off the ship and then all of a sudden he walks in, shoots you while you're in the captain's seat, and flies off while I'm trying to offload cargo.
Which is probably his general plan. Or he probably figured if he didn't see us both get on, you run off and offload. It's just weirded. I never saw the message of him coming back on the channel.
Well, what he probably...
What
Get
the
inside.
hell?
Just get inside. That was a pad rammer. Get in there.
Okay. I'm trying. Okay.
And just land the ship as quick as you can. So basically, somebody is probably bounty hunting me right now, and that was the one opportunity that they had because the armistice zone to try and knock me down.
I gotcha.
Well, Draconic, funny business just happened, actually. Somebody tried to pad ram. And again, that's probably because of my crime stat.
Man, I about had a heart attack with that one, man. All of a sudden the ship twists, it yawed real hard. I was up against the wall. I thought, you know, we had a glitch or something.
Let's see if I get dead here. Or taken to prison. We'll find out. Let's see. There's some security personnel over there. There's security personnel right there. Let's call the elevator. I just want to unload this this stuff.
You'll have to tell me when you're on your way back if you don't run any problems, because I no longer have your indicator.
Alright, will do. Lobby. And keep an eye on chat and see if
I am. I don't see anything.
what's going on there, because technically that classified as a pad ram, and it blew the other ship up when he did it.
I just checked global chat for past stuff. I don't see anything. Except someone trolling somebody says when he's trying to get back in, says they bound helmet to backslash key, or backslash key.
Okay. So let me go ahead and see if I can sell. Come on. Oh, don't do this to me. Don't tell me I can't sell with the crime stat. Oh, there it is.
So.
Alright. It's taking some time, so I'm wondering if we are actually about to get a 30K. There's quite a bit of server lag going on right now. Alright, I am on my way back.
Did you load us up?
Yes, it did. We'll go ahead and take the risk. Again, don't be surprised if Port Olisar starts trying to fire at us. Okay?
Yep.
If it does, then just fly past it as fast as you can. And then I'll EVA. That way you can land the ship.
Well, we're fueled up, so if we have to jump out somewhere.
Well, again, I don't think it's going to be a matter of jumping out. I'll just open the cargo door and jump out the cargo door, and then you keep flying. It's not the ship that they're after, it's me.
Gotcha.
And then if I EVA to the pad and I'm able to get in, then we should still be able to at least sell. Don't need that one. But it's always worth a try, right?
Yeah.
So I'm on board. You're good to go.
I'm already out of the station, man.
Alright. Oh, I can't see anything.
Yeah, no. I may not be able to see your indicator, but I can see you join the channel, so.
Yeah, so, Draconic, are you watching it through YouTube, or are you watching it through Twitch?
So I wonder what size ship that was.
It looked like a small fighter. I mean, I didn't get a chance to see it, but based upon the shadow, it looked like it was a small fighter. Did it actually tear up your shields? Did you lose shields?
No.
Or did it just roll the
knocked
ship?
The ship to the side. It rolled the ship and knocked it to the side, and I didn't even get a shield warning.
Okay. Yeah, it probably was just a small fighter, where somebody was just hoping to be able to see if that was their only opportunity to get the ship down.
Or maybe they thought if they knocked us off hard enough, we'd crash in the station and do something.
I don't know.
Panic, full throttle inside the hangar.
Yep, I'm gonna have to fix this studio light before tomorrow. My little LED keeps flashing in and out, so it's changing the perspective of my my camera.
And like I said, that made my heart jump a little bit. 'Cause bad things only happen when we're coming into a station, and full of cargo.
Well, that's the rule of thumb in this game. That's when things are more likely to happen, because that's where people congregate. So basically, here's what's going to happen. When we get to Crusader and you're getting lined up, I'm going to go down to the cargo bay. Okay? Or not the cargo bay, but the hatch. And as you come into Port Olisar, don't pause, just fly towards them. Okay?
Yeah, I'll fly off, like a parallel course or something.
And start to fly in towards them and see if weapons start firing. And if they do, just say weapons are firing, and then I'll open the hatch and jump out.
Alright.
Okay? Because I'll EVA at that point and try and get to the pad, because then you should be able to request a landing. Now, honestly, as we're doing that, it'll take me for freaking ever if we're like stupid far away. So basically, like, try and fly in between the circular rings over the pads,
Yeah, I'm gonna buzz the station.
and then that way I can get out really quickly.
When I say parallel, I mean I'm buzzing the station. It always tends to bring us in perpendicular though, so like I said, I'll try to go right by. Don't want to waste a whole lot of time maneuvering to line them rings up.
Alright, I'm running down to the bay right now.
Alright. Because when it drops us in, we're going to be within 10 clicks, so we're going to be in radio contact. Let me know when you're ready and I'll make you go.
Oh, go. You're good. You coming in?
Working on it.
There we go.
It gave me a landing bay.
Alright, that's fine. I've got this open, so... Again, if they start shooting at you...
I'll fly right by.
And keep in mind, that could be people that are going to be shooting at you, too.
Okay.
But just, like, start coming in for a good landing. Just don't go slow at it, and then if I need to disembark, I'll disembark really quickly.
Well, we are at weapons offline, so they can't exactly shoot, can they?
The Port Olisar can.
Well, I'm not talking about the port. I'm talking about players.
So that means I need to get my crime stat higher.
Right? I mean... Maybe that's more just considered manslaughter.
Either which way, I'll do a global chat and see if I can get a bounty hunter to come out after me.
Alright, I'm putting her down. You're good. Go.
Alright. Go ahead and close up the cargo bay.
Oh, I don't know if he tried to hit us or not.
Quite possibly.
I'm getting pad rammed.
Alright, are you still getting pad rammed, or is it just the one shot that happened?
Oh, that was the second one.
Get up and just kind of fly around the station, but stay within a few thousand meters.
You're
So,
not gonna be able to tell.
as long as you're within a few thousand meters and you're close, don't bolt off crazy from there, but just get moving a little bit.
No one's doing anything.
I'm about to sell the cargo right now.
Well, and like I said,
Drake, Caterpillar, scrap, sell it all.
that dude's just a terrible pilot. He's crashing around the station.
Alright, so we have made the money. Go ahead and lift that shift off.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and pull out another ship. And let's see what happens. B02. You still got the Caterpillar running?
Yeah, I'm off the station.
Just making sure. So give me a second. I'm going to see if I can... B02. I'm going to see if I can get somebody to get my bounty and clear this real quick. Make sure nobody's still just kind of getting after you. Check and make sure you don't have a crime stat.
Yeah, that's a good point. My crime stat's blank.
Okay, good. Because I'm about to make mine go through the roof so that I can get a bounty hunter. That's a cutlass drake. Okay. Are you firing?
No, I had gotten out of the seat. I'm running back to the...
You want to pull that shit? I'll do it to you, Duddy. You ain't gonna like it.
I didn't realize I lifted up high enough to get out of the weapons free zone. I mean, it didn't do anything but hit the shields. This big ass beast.
He's done. There's 3 on the crime stat. Alright, so yeah, it's showing you as a hostile.
Is it?
That's probably why somebody engaged you, but...
Probably because I'm on your ship.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it says next to current balance is crime stat and there's nothing underneath it.
Alright, so let me see what I could do with global chat here.
Alright, while you do that, I'm going to help the kid with a math problem. That jacked up is showing me as hostile. I haven't shot anybody. I don't care. Cargo's unloaded, so if someone does manage to take me out now, we just grab another ship. It's heavy, Bob.
Vandal Scythe. Let's see. Ha! I'm not gonna make it easy.
I see y'all up there. I saw you ramble. You are hostile. I wonder if I shoot you, I can hit the bounty.
You're not a bounty hunter?
I guess I need to work on that.
There we go. Let's see if it cleared it. Or let's just see if it froze me. Because that's what it's looking like right now. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Alright, it looks like it actually froze me in the death screen. So let's see what happens when I kill in task that, and then
I seem to be getting ignored, so.
okay, no news available. Let's quit that one and relaunch it.
Oh, I love that one.
Come on, there we go. Now it's gonna let me come back in. So hopefully I get to log back in without a crime stat. Again, I was just messing around there. I really didn't want to truly do a dogfight in that whole routine, but the fact of the matter is that I didn't want to just sit there either.
Well, it's Heavy Bob.
I don't know, was that Scythe Heavy Bob?
Well, he was the one on chat that jumped up and said, I'll come right out. Let me grab a ship.
But this ship came in from way out further, so
I didn't get a target on him. I should have targeted him. Will it tell you a player's name if you target him?
it is supposed to join these friends.
Nope. That didn't give me that. It just told me what kind of ship it is.
You're so tempted to type lyrics from Let It Go. Alright. So that was an interesting little twist of, the Heavy Bob saga. I'm getting some very interesting music at this moment. Kind of like serious and ominous kind of music.
That's always a great sign in a game.
Uh-huh. Please don't tell me that it actually sent me to jail. It sent me to jail. Alright, Chad. You may just want to go ahead and land the caterpillar and do whatever you got to do.
I guess I will.
Where do I need to go? I ain't been to jail yet. Where do I gotta go?
First you either gotta sit in your cell.
Well, I clicked on the do the work release thing.
Alright, now you open your door and you go out and there's a central area. But I had to jump down to the platform below me. I really didn't get it figured out. My sentence was only a few minutes for the crime stat of 1, so I'm not sure how they do it.
I got a crime stat of 3, so...
Well, if you go to that central console in the common area down there, there's consoles there. You can go look at your sentence. How much time is remaining.
Well, that's fine. Let me see. I found some stairs, but I don't think it's a... Let's see, how far down can I go?
Honestly, was not able to find my way out. I had to... It's a low gravity situation. I had to jump to the lower platform. And you can't jump where there's a gap, but there is a crosswalk down there that you can cross right off.
There's stairs behind all the pods.
Ah.
So let's see. Let's see here. Inmate information. Let's touch the console here. Alright, your sentence. I have 5 hours and 57 minutes.
Well, I guess you better figure out how to mine then.
So, let's see. Spud, you said it's here in the middle somewhere? Is the entrance? Apparently all the inmates have decided that standing on tables was great. So that's inmate processing. Let's see. Working mines. Work mines. So I should be able to see if I can. Okay, I know all my personal gear is gone. Utility. Right, so I do already have it equipped. Alright, so let's head to the mine. Clutcher.
This unexpected detour to the stream.
That's the commissary, those are the mines. I have spent many of hours mining, training for this. So is this going to be just like a cave where I just have to find the random piles and just start mining? Yep, it's going to be just like a cave. Whoa, they aren't joking. This is like a narrow little...
Prison's not supposed to be easy, fool.
Well, yeah, I get that, but the Aphrodite here is like unstable as all get out. Man, I spent a lot of hours hand mining when I first got the game, so... Come on. Stop being so slow. Oh, you can do it.
Oh, looks like my ship bug's still here.
Oh, come on. Give me the stow marker. There we go. So, Spud, how many, I'm assuming like a full backpack here, how much does that take off your sentence time-wise? Well, let's see if we can find out. It's a crying shame that the guy that killed me was not a bounty hunter. Would have loved to have had this crime stat gone. So you know, regardless of whether it's a bounty hunter or not, you still go to prison if you have a crime stat, Spud?
Yeah, like I said, I had a lousy crime stat of 1 for failure to comply, and it threw me in prison after they shot me out of the sky.
It's kind of crappy. I know this is not going to be the most entertaining stream that you can possibly have at the moment, but so I apologize for that. But since this is my first time in prison, we're going to play it out, see how it goes.
Have you turned in a backpack yet?
Oh no, it's going to take me a little while to get a backpack full. I've only taken down 2 nodes so far. Ivan, I am mining because I was thrown in prison for having a crime stat because a douchebag jumped on my ship trying to steal it, and because I shot him first I got a crime stat. So I decided to ask a bounty hunter to help me clear it, and in doing so I engaged a few more ships and got my crime stat a little bit higher, and we'll just go with, yeah, I'm paying my debt to society. So right now I'm doing the hand mining within the prison.
Just don't start singing "Working on a Chain Gang."
Why would I do that? I'd rather sing Dolly songs.
Help us all.
What?
I said, help us all.
No, I mean, I am
While
working.
you're doing that, I grabbed my freelancer. I'm jumping over to Bountiful Harvest.
You know, I am kind of working on a chain gang right now and working 9 to 5, so. Ivan, it really is from a, especially from a stream perspective, but this is the first time I've gone to prison, so I want to see how much a full backpack of mining cuts down your time that you're sentenced. So it won't be something that I'm going to keep up for very long. This is a great way, like if you're first starting out and you don't have a whole ton of money and you don't have, you know, really solid ships, you can always go hand mining at different places and you'll make some decent money, especially on the cave missions. Where are we at? So, come on, show me. There's another one. Man, I swear these are just getting harder and harder. That little mining window is just freaking terrible. Well, good morning back to you from Russia. No, actually, good morning back to you from the States. I'm not gonna hold where anybody's from against them by any means. We all got to live somewhere, right?
Except those people from Dallas. We don't like Dallas.
That's very true. Being here in Houston, Dallas really, is kind of the epitome of just suckage. Now I'm waiting for the reply on stream for somebody to say, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm from Dallas." We don't like those cowgirl fans.
Well, I've kind of quit talking trash about that, considering the moves your buddy OB has made this year. So.
He ain't my buddy. I think the dude is a freaking lunatic. I mean, I don't know where else to go with that. I mean, he traded off all his draft capital, and then now he's trading off, or now he's trading off his players.
Sure, women.
He's killing this team, thinking that he's trying to rebuild it and give himself some time in order to be able to do it. Because somehow he convinced the McNair family that the previous GMs are not giving him the team he wants. Oh, now it's telling me, oh. Where am I at? Capacity. 78% capacity. Okay. So 1 or 2 more quick mines should be a full backpack load. What are we going to see? Come on, I know you got another rock for me. Another rock. There's one. Make sure I'm not passing by anything. So, Spud, let me ask you a question. Since you've already been to prison and you already started doing some of this, what happens if you blow a mine up on yourself in prison? Other than the fact that you die, does it do anything for you? Take any crime stat away?
Sorry about that. I had a work-related call come in. Like I tell them, as long as they pretend to pay me, I'll pretend to work.
Could be worse. I mean, waiting for my former bosses to call me back again and ask me some really important questions so that I can proceed to tell them, oh, I'm sorry, it's just business. My intellectual knowledge is no longer your problem. You don't incur any additional fines there, Spud, or anything like that? Okay, so inventory. We are at 98% full, so close enough. It's not worth me breaking down another backpack. Let's head back up. Okay, where am I supposed to turn this in at? Okay, that answers that question. Alright, so merit contribution. Oh my god, that sucks. Aphorite is terrible for merits. Okay, well, you know, dude, I'm trying to turn it in. Do I have to do a box and then... Alright, let's try it this way. Oh, it automatically takes it. No, it didn't. See? Only available when in a cargo grid. Right? Why aren't you letting me store my stuff? No material from mine to be brought into the bell. So, what am I missing here? Why can I not deposit? Or does it only take full deposits? And it's going to force me to mine 100%. Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking, Spud, but no matter what I was doing, it was not letting me drop it in there. I couldn't do it crate, I couldn't, it wouldn't let me click the deposit, nothing. So the only thing I can figure is that, because I'm not at 100%, which... You know, I mean, these seem to be universal mines, so once you get it up to power, drop it down to about 33, 34% on your mining tool, and it looks like it's just going to hold it steady enough, at least on these aphorites. So it's not hard to break apart, not, as far as getting it done quickly. Let's check. I am at 100%. So we will run back up and try it this way again. Because right now this is the world's most boring stream. Yeah, it won't let me deposit at all. Alright guys, so I'm not going to make you sit here and sit through this, so it is a little bit afternoon where I'm at, so I'm going to go ahead and kill the stream for the day and see if I can figure out what the heck is going on, because yeah, for whatever reason this just ain't taking my ore. So I appreciate it guys. I will be on tomorrow, and hopefully I'll see you back then. So till then, like we say at the table guys, keep on adventuring.